notification, which should just come up now, and put it in the Discord chats. Share, copy link. Alright, so welcome along everyone to, I think this is alright, okay, welcome along everyone to round 10 of the Blue Championship in Japan, in Suzuka. Tao is unfortunately not with us. He'll be without us for probably most, if not all, of the races for the rest of the season, as he's got uni work, which is taking up his time, too much of his time, in fact, that he can't, he hasn't got enough time to come along the stream and commentate with us. So just be yours truly. The racing will stay the same, and the stream shall go on without one of the better commentators, I should say. Anyway, moving on from that, we have NBC Alcatraz and the Renault coming out first. On the soft tyres, people who are on the mediums are James Cruz and Blocky Rex, both in the Williams cars. XJ Schmidt hasn't come out yet, but he's set on the hard tyres, so I'm not sure if he's going to come back in. And someone's lost in turn 1. I think that's maybe Servant. Is that Smeg? Smeg's already lost into turn 1 and he's broken his front wing on his outlap. Big shame for him. Anyways, we're watching Alcatraz. We'll go on board with him and we'll see his first flying lap of Q1, the first lap of this stream. He's crossed the line to start his lap. So on the run into turn 1, he's only going overtake mode on his ERS, holding 8th for a while, down to 4th, going a little bit wide, still keeps his line into the first second to the yeses. Very, very tricky part of the track. Very easily to get it wrong, to oversteer into the far left or far right and ruin your qualifying and your race. He has managed that very successfully into the first Degner. Very easy to lose the car there as well. Into the second Degner, doing it very cleanly, losing the back end just a tiny bit. Now into the first hairpin, or the only hairpin I should say. He passes Lunacy, gets out the way. Now through this long right-hander into Spoon Curve we go. Down to 5th. Just missing that second apex. He missed the first apex as well. And is now onto the long back straight, heading into 130R. He will complete sector 2. It's obviously going to go purple. Fly out through 130R. He's still in overtake mode. I wonder if that's still faster. It breaks and now into second, clipping the first apex, clipping the second apex. Very clean, very nice and clean lap, and he will set a 1 minute 29.9. So I believe Blocky, no, I think James will be through next. He is. As he locks up, we just come on board with him, he locks up, bit of oversteer moment, as can't do crap. Goes provisional pole with a 129.9 as well. Less than a 10th faster. James Cruz is 135.1. Who will come through next? Is that Hodster? I believe he's just starting his finished his lap. He's doing a 128.5. He's blown in the field like there is no tomorrow. We have Blocky Rex, who may have made a mistake, is coming in now. Just come on board, can't do crap. Who's lost? What has happened here? He's lost at the exit, and same as James. They're blocking the track. Who's that? Is that Tulsa coming through next? James Cruz receives a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Can't Do Crab. I'm not sure what was going on there. I really have no clue. I can't really explain that to you guys. Anyway, Breno 129.4 and Banana Cake are 129.2. They've also set their laps. Who will come through next? I believe it will be Bodhod, but he has invalidated his lap and he will go for it. I think no, he invalidated his lap. He'll go for it again now. Go for a second lap. In the Mercedes is Lunacy, who will start his lap now. He's 137 on his out lap, I believe, unless he did invalidate his first lap, which seems to be the case for a few of these drivers. And I believe, I'm not sure who is going to come through next. Looks like it has to be Aussie Wizzy. No, he's on his out lap. Is it Smeg? Smeg's on his out lap. I'm not too sure who is. I think not even Banana Cake. Is it Breno? Not even Breno. I think it must be the Red Bull. Here we go. We found a driver who is actually on a lap, on board with Plebs, who jumped on board. He's got purple to the second sector, 1 minute 12, and he's going to fly through 130R, brake just after the 100, hits the first and second apex very nicely, and he will cross the line to set a 1 minute 29.3, putting him in P3. Server Knight, meanwhile, and Garlaz has just crossed the line as well, 130.1, Server Knight 137.7, quite a slow lap. Must have made a mistake there. Reedy 131.3. He has 2 laps on those tyres. Botthole 130.2. And is that? I think that is Plebs getting out the way. Lunacy will just finish his lap with putting himself P5 with a 129.9. So far, Todster is up by about 7/10 of a second to his next competitor, which is the Alfa Romeo of Banana Cake Pie. I believe, I'm not sure who will come through next. I think Conehouse just finished his lap, as did Blocky. They both started their laps, I think. The Toro Rosso of, I'm skipping quite a bit here, my bad. Toro Rosso of Aussie Wizzy Rick will jump on board with him for the rest of for his final run. He has definitely made a mistake. He's only done a 1 minute 37.8. So he should be going again. Meanwhile, the Smeg puts himself P11 with a 134.7. I don't think anyone else has set a lap yet. We'll find. I think Conehouse. We'll stay on board with Conehouse for the remainder of this lap. I will get my track map up as well. As he goes through Spoon Curve onto the back straight into 130. Finishes, goes purple to the second, which was slower, so that is not true, I guess. Anyways, as he crosses the line, it's at a 1 minute 30.5, so it was not a pole lap. Smeg, we've covered the Smeg. Aussie Wizzy, we've covered everyone else, I believe. XJ Schmidt is just started his lap on the hard tyres. We will get the track map up. Here we go. So there is 18 corners on this track. Schmidt coming to the second Degner, which is indeed turn 8 and 9. Turn 9 is the second Degner. So Aaron gets a 5-place penalty for collision with Plebs. So Aaron was right behind Plebs. I wonder if they have damage. I don't think Aaron does have a little bit of end plate damage. Plebs, I'm not sure if he does. He does not have damage. don't think either of them were on a lap, but that's a big shame for Aaron. Well, jump aboard James, he's just lost it into, I think that is turn 3. Big shame for him. He's currently P14. Actually, Schmidt will jump back on with him as he invalidates his lap on the second hairpin, turn 18, or turn 17 I should say. He would have set a 1 minute 30.6, which had only put him P12, P13. Shame for him. Zach's doing donuts in the gravel, as per usual. Aaron is on an, Ozzy is on an outlap, on a fast lap I should actually say. He will definitely improve on his previous time, which I wonder where he made his mistake. I'm pretty sure these are the tyres. These are still the tyres in which he set his first lap, so he hasn't come in yet. These are 2 lap old soft tyres. He's just going round and round, getting some extra practicing I guess, as he sets the fastest of the second, apparently, the 1 minute 12.1. Makes just after the 100 meters into turn 16, into turn 17, very clean, through turn 18, he goes. He crosses the line, a 1 minute 28.6, puts himself P2, so there we go. Now we've seen the true pace of Aussie Waziric, only a 10th behind Todster. Other person has come close in this first qualifying session. And he retires, so he feels safe with that. Just looking at the comments quickly as we see Zach starting a lap. Alex says Alcatraz for pole. Alcatraz is currently P8 in the first qualifying session, so I feel like the 1 minute 30s, maybe even 1 minute. I feel like Conehouse 30.5, maybe the cut-off point for Q1, as we still have Aaron and Dougie and Schmidt to finish their laps, and even Servernight if he can get his lap all done. Zach sets the fastest lap to the first sector, or fastest sector. I have no clue what I'm saying anymore, to be honest. We'll start again. Who's coming into spring curve, braking at the 50, just after the 50 actually, running not even any, doesn't even run wide, runs a little bit wide there, keeps his lap though, and he's going to complete sector 2. Can he get himself into the 1 minute 11s? He does, 11.5, that is a very fast second sector. This would definitely could be a pole lap. Brakes just after the 100 meters, before the 50 meters, through 16, through 17, now through turn 18. Does Zach Crichton. He crosses the line and he will set a 1:28.1 pole position for Q1, 4 tenths faster than Todster. Jones Cruz is now on a lap. And I think we'd stay on board with him, but I believe Dougie's on a lap as well. So we'll be able to see in the background where he'll complete, where he will set. Should be somewhere near the front. James Cruz, I was just about to say he's keeping it fairly clean. Not anymore, unfortunately. So we'll jump on with Dougie, who's just finished his lap at 1 minute 28.5. Aaron is in the pits as per usual. I don't think he's actually set a lap time this whole season. I'm not sure why that is. He may just like the challenge of starting from the back. But apart from Aaron, it's James P19, Reedy P18, Smeg P17, Conehouse P16, and I believe we just saw Garlaz put himself P8 with a 1:29.7. So he's out. He should be safe. I feel like maybe even Schmidt in the 1:30.1 may be a little bit in danger. as he comes in. I wonder if he'll put softs on when he comes back out. Server Knight will coming to the end of his lap. See through 16 and 17, almost invalidates his lap there. Very easy to do that. Take too much curb, goes wide, right out wide, and I think he's actually starting his lap. Maybe. Unless, yeah, I think he's starting his lap. So, my bad there. Conehouse, meanwhile, 2/10 off from his first sector time. We'll see what he does in his second sector. 1 minute 13.0, definitely not the fastest lap. But he's half a second faster on his previous time, which will put him up into P13 and possibly into safety. Maybe even the 29.9s up into P10 of Lunacy. If every other driver can get their times right, Lunacy could be in trouble as the Conehouse puts himself P10 with the 129.8. So yeah, the 29.9s could be the cutoff point. So we might see Lunacy, Cantu, Crap, Blocky and Schmidt. Schmidt is coming out already. Blocky is coming out. Cantu, Crap and Lunacy are still in the pits. Smeg's still in the pits, as is James and Aaron. Reedy is just about to start his lap. Server Knight has aborted his lap. He's 5 laps on these tyres. His Banana Cake Pie retires. I'm not sure. I think he's run out of fuel. He has. He's run out of fuel. Alcatraz will pass him. I think Server Knight, this will be the end. He won't be able to make it through. He cannot make it into the pits and back out. I think Smeg is just letting Reedy through, who is starting his flying lap. Can he get out of Q1 is the question. But so far, both the McLarens, who I believe they were having, he's just invalidated his lap, which I don't think he was going for a fast lap anyways, but Garlas retires in the meantime. Aaron's still on the pitch. James Cruz out on his out lap, but as I was saying before, Server Knight retires, so Server Knight is out of Q1, as is Aaron. So the fight is for Smeg, Reedy and James to get out of this first qualifying session. But as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. The McLarens last week in Abu Dhabi were having an alright race. They were up in the points, P9 and 10 I believe, and then kind of disaster just struck, and both their races just turned to absolute crap. Yeah, so not very good fortunes for these McLaren drivers, to Smeg or for Server Knight. As we see Smeg, who is just about to start his lap. I would like to stay on board with him, just see how he gets on, see if he can get out of P17, if he can knock Schmidt into the drop zone. I still think everyone except for Lunacy, who was just set a 29.9 or lower, did go out. James wasn't there. Reedy, 31.5. He could not improve. I'm not sure if he was going for another lap. James didn't make it to the end. He was on his out lap, but he just missed out. Smeg is a 10th up on his previous time. He needs to be at least 4/10ths up on Schmidt, who even he could go somewhat faster. Schmidt is a front runner, we should remember, so he should really be racing Blocky Rex, who did a 29.9, which is around 5/10ths faster. He should be half a second faster on this lap than his previous time. Can he do that? He's got 2 lap old tyres. Yeah, he's got 2 lap old tyres. Alcatraz pits. Blocky Rex puts a P9. So now it's up to Alcatraz, who is right on the cusp. Everyone else is safe except for Alcatraz. So the Smeg, I haven't been looking at his sector times, but here we go, coming around the final corner. Can he put himself out of the drop zone? No, he can't. 3/10ths down. Alcatraz is safe. So that is it. Canto Crap pulls into the pits. We've got to wait a little while longer for him. And that is it for qualifying 1 at Suzuka. Again, both the McLarens out. A Alfa Romeo of Reedy, a Williams of James, and as always, the Haas of Aaron L3 F4, who failed to set a time once again. James and Aaron, I'm not sure if I could remember anyone else getting it, but James and Aaron both have 5-place grid penalties, as does Plevs, and Can't Do Crap. So that could shake up the qualifying order. But as I said before, Server Knight 130.2, 3/10 behind Alcatraz. Smeg 5/10 behind, it is 130.5. Well, only really 2/10. Or 2.9, yeah, it's 3/10. Reedy 131.3, it was way off P15 of Alcatraz. James with a 1 minute 30, I think we'll see here. 1 minute 32.8. It was 3 seconds off Alcatraz. I must say, James is improving. Throughout this season, we've seen him improve, and I feel like coming to the end of this season, we could see some drivers, or we could see James, I should say, into Q2. So, Q2 has begun. As the Smeg joins us.
Oh, God, I hate this circuit.
From being knocked out in Q1 with his fellow McLaren partner Server Knight.
Yep. Yeah, it seems we can't break this McLaren curse. We just can't seem to break it at this stage, unfortunately.
I was talking about you guys how last week in Abu Dhabi, you guys were running a P9, P10, looking for a good result, and then just all turned to crap once again.
Well, yeah, that was a unique set of circumstances in Abu Dhabi. You see, on the back straightaway, my controller decided to, die, and I couldn't gather back control of it until turn 8.
So it's just only happening to you.
2 positions, a whole heap of time, and it gave me a 10-second time penalty as well.
I think we did see that on the stream, which is very unlucky.
Yeah.
It's really
it's just part of the McLaren.
Only happened to you, only happened to the McLaren drivers, I think. It's a big shame because in a few races you guys have shown speed. Just not the best of luck, it seems.
Yeah, it seems that way. It seems that way at the moment. Yeah, I think, I 100% agree. Like, we had a good performance in Austria, where we scored the 3rd most out of any team collectively. So, we can definitely string it together, but yeah, we need luck on our side, really. Absolutely. Yeah, I managed to cock up at the Dunlop curve. Just touching the inside curve and spinning out.
I did see that on your outlap, as Tosla has just done.
Oh, hello.
Almost a carbon copy, and the Ferrari of Can't Do Crap.
Oh!
Hello. No.
I'm the only one who does it.
Okay.
Thank goodness. That's something you have to really worry about with this circuit. It is so easy to spin out at certain sectors, particularly through the first sector. There's quite a few auto spin curves, and then you've got that bump after the chicane. And if you're not running traction control, yeah, as soon as you go over it, really unsettles the car. High chance of spinning out.
Yes, insight from the driver himself. So we've just seen.
So who are you expecting to get pole position from what you've been seeing so far?
I'm feeling Todser could do it. He's been on form throughout the season.
Championship leader.
He is the championship leader, but he has got the pressure of Zach and Schmidt and Dougie, and now Ozzy, who's just gotten provisional pole on his medium set of tyres. So I reckon he could do it. I'm just not too sure by how much.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be close between some of these guys. I mean, it's a great array of talent in the Blue Championship, at least for this race. Yeah, I think you're right. Dougie Schmidt is going to be up there as well. Zach's going to be up there. As you said, the Polestar, who's going to be absolutely flying. So, yeah, I'm not too sure either. I just wish we got a McLaren into freaking Q2, but oh well, that's alright.
Soon enough. You got into Q3 a few times. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I got into Q3 at China, but that was because of pretty much luck of the weather. I managed to time getting out of the pit lane well enough to actually set a time on the softs. And the times before where I got into Q3 was because I was using traction control. Now I'm trying to learn how to race these things without it. And it's a bit of a learning curve, but I'm getting there. But yeah, when luck goes our way, you know, we can get into Q2, Q3s, but fortunately not here at Suzuka.
How are your chances on the race for you and your teammate Server?
Well, we do have that. Well, we do start a fair way down the grid, but one luxury of that is that you can avoid the carnage. You really don't want to be in the midfield at Suzuka, or well, at the majority of circuits. So we can just sort of let the chaos happen and sort of pick off the positions from there. We also have the free choice of tyre, which does help, particularly the strategy. So I think we can perform quite well in the race. We just have to wait and see. At a racetrack like this, where mistakes are severely punished, we do have to bring our A game, even at the back of the pack, to try and not take ourselves out by going over an auto spin curve, which are there's quite a few of them on this circuit.
Yes, especially down at, I believe it was Dunlop Curve. A few of you guys have already spun there. A few of you guys have lost your laps on the very last chicane. The very last curb.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Is that a Ferrari in the wall?
Of Breno? And that is Causal Crab, I think, who's almost they've almost crashed. Both of them.
Oh my goodness. That was incredibly close.
Too close.
Just saw a car go past and I thought I saw a Ferrari in the wall, and yeah. Wow.
So the Ferrari of Breno seems to have somehow spun it on the straight. I'm not too sure how. And he's gotten directly in the way of Can't Do Crap, which could have been a really big collision.
Wow. That was, it was a very awkward place to spin out. Yeah, wow.
So meanwhile, while we'll be talking about Smeg's little adventures in Dunlop Curve, Zach Crichton has put himself P1 with a 127.7, almost 2 seconds faster than Aussie, who was on his medium tyres, but also almost 2 seconds faster than Dougie Falcons, who is on the softs. So I'm not sure if this is Zach's premium track, or if this Dougie's just bogey track, or if they're just...
Oh no, I think there's a lot more time to be found here. Like we was talking about it in the main chat that's happening at the moment. We're looking at about times in the 28s. That's where we're sort of aiming. So we're expecting the top guys to be low, not low, medium to high 27s. If they're really on it. So yeah, Zach, he's done a good lap. He's done a fantastic lap. And I think Todd started 28 too. So yeah, low 28s to high 27s. I think Dougie just made a mistake on his lap. Just lost a bit of time somewhere. I suspect he's going to set a mega lap soon.
Meanwhile, we'd just like to welcome James Cruz, who's just joined us for the remainder
good evening,
of
one and all.
Q2 and Q3.
Yes,
your take on,
sacrificed for the greater good.
How was your take on the qualifying session you just had?
It was pretty slippery out there. Bit more fuel in the car, you can't really get the back end around in time, but obviously the more experienced drivers will, but not quite me. So I was pretty happy to be within 2 seconds of the closest person. I've been grinding that down. So it's been been a good experience using the assists. Get to learn the car as well as the track and different lines. So highly recommend it for anyone to try out.
Yeah, we have been noticing, as a previous commentator who's no longer here, Lazy Tower, we have been noticing that you have been improving throughout the season, from almost spinning every corner to being somewhat competitive in these races, which is really good to see, and would hope to see you maybe into Q2 at sometime at the end of the season.
Yes, and that really only depends if I crash out on Q1 or not.
We did see you crash out of the second Degner, under the tunnel, onto the bridge.
Oh yes, I was actually over a second up on my time, so I was actively pushing.
So we are on board with Plez right now. He's just about to finish his lap. Come out to turn 16, through 17 of the second chicane, and then through the short right-hander of 18. He will set a time of a 1 minute 28.6 for doing P3.
Oh God, man.
So majority of the drivers got in softs. Only 3 on the mediums. Garlaz is the only one. Oh, on Conehouse. Only people who are in Q3. Schmidt, he has not set a lap, but he's set on the mediums, it looks like. Meanwhile,
looks like a pretty tight bubble to get out of.
Yes,
5 drivers.
I thought it would be the 1 minute 30s, 1 minute 29s was around the cutoff.
Hot Hod's just killed
Q1.
himself.
Same place as you did, James, I believe. Just under the bridge. Which is a little bit of a shame, but
it's another haunted tunnel. Singapore and Japan.
Sorry, I got team orders from the boss, and apparently we're going to finish 1-2. So yeah, prepare yourselves for that. We're definitely going to be finishing 1-2.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, 100%.
1-2 from the McLaren buddies.
What's your favourite corner around here, Smeek?
Favourite corner? Well, it's more of a matter what is my... what would be the word for it?
Least hated?
Least hated, yeah. I think is the better term to use, is least hated. Probably 130R. It's the only corner on this circuit I seem to not screw up. Everywhere else, particularly through that damned first sector, I just can't seem to nail it. It's 130R for me, I think.
So Server Knight's saying 18 cars to crash out.
18
cars.
Not impossible.
So
that way we get our McLaren 1-2 by default.
If you do what you said before, stay out of trouble, that could somehow be a possibility.
It's entirely possible. We've seen it in a couple of races. A racetrack like this, where it's so dangerous, in many parts of the circuit, it is possible. Unlikely,
Schmitty's,
but possible.
cutting it tight. He's got about
1
10
minute,
seconds up his sleeve. He runs into
26 to
traffic.
go. And he's only on the medium tyres, so he's risking it all here. He's usually up the front as Botthod retires, so Botthod is out of Q2. I would like to see, first of all, if Schmidt can make it through, and
Can he
if
set
he
a
can
lap?
actually get into Q3. As Carter crack across the line, put himself P7. Banana Cake is now on the brink. The 1 minute 30 dead. That could be the cutoff yet again. Garlaz looks to be in trouble as well. He's on an outlap as well. Lunacy is in the pit, so Lunacy is out. XJ Schmidt, he will be able to set a lap. Doesn't look like there is much traffic in front of him. As there's a sector 2 yellows. I wonder who that was for.
I think it's just a slow car, just letting people by, I think.
So now XJ Schmidt, we'll ride on board with him. See how he goes through these S's. Through the first, second, and I believe third S, if you call it, through Dunlop Curve now. Keeps it steady. Now into my personal favourite corner to watch, the two Degners.
Oh,
As
he's
he
killed it. Dougie.
Jumps the first one. And cleanly through the second one. As now into the hairpin of,
He's invalidated.
He's invalidated his lap.
Yeah.
Wow. Hasn't shown up on my screen, but I'll take your word for it. So Schmidt.
Yeah, you can
looks
check
to be-
from the track map. Once it turns red, they're dead.
Yeah, mine's still black, so
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. Sometimes it does. We'll check on Conehouse quickly. Who sets finishes his time.
Oh, he makes it.
P9.
And Can't Do's on the lap too.
Can't do crap. He's on a lap. He's done on P10.
Carlas.
Carlas is P11. He is coming out of Spoon Curve, as is Banana Cake, who's going through Spoon Curve. Can't do crap, goes to the pits. So Schmidt doesn't. Yeah, he's like, did get invalidated. You are right, James.
Banana's up on his time.
8
He's up by
tenths.
second nearly.
So that basically confirms.
And
can't
he's
do
going to need
craps.
every single bit of it too. He's 0.8 behind.
Carlas doesn't improve. Banana Cake put P6.
Oh, he smashes it.
He does. Puts himself 128.9. Puts Can't Do Crap out in Q2.
We've got Banana Ultra Ball helmet cake pie.
Yes, that is
Or
a
Bumblebee.
quite an interesting helmet, to say the least.
Very interesting.
Aussie Wizzy Rick, possibly the smartest man and the best man for tomorrow, starting on the mediums, or tomorrow for the race, starting on the medium tyres. Everyone else on the softs. Meanwhile, Can't Do Crap, Garlaz, Budhod, Lunacy and Schmidt all knocked out in Q2. So 2 Force Indias, a Ferrari, Toro Rosso, Budhod and the Mercedes of Lunacy are all out. Can't Do Crap just misses out, while Garlaz, Budhod and Lunacy just as Can't Do Crap has just joined.
Good evening.
So would you like to talk us through your qualifying session?
The incident with the teammate or the qualifying session?
Both.
Just to make sure that your
Qualifying
share
session?
audio
It's not
is
too
on as
bad,
well.
really. Blocky Rex with the Q3 ban. Did get a 5-place grid penalty for some contact with James in our Q1, so I'll be starting from 16th instead of 11th.
We did get that on stream. I was very
Yep.
confused.
And the incident with
Both spun out
Breno.
the same area.
Yeah, yep. Incident with
Okay.
Breno was, I think he was just regaining the control of the car as I was coming down, and saw him parked across the track, so it was either fly down the inside, or take the outside line and just cruise around the back of the track. So I think that
I'm gonna
one,
have to
not
leave
much
the
we could do
session.
about that
I
one.
think I'm-
Can someone invite Speg back quickly? I think, yeah, the session just sort of lags for a bit. Now we're
Is it better now?
starting to count. Yeah, now we're starting to count down to
Yeah, right. I was
Q3.
gonna say.
There we go, into Q3 now. So that was a bit of a confusing event, as we just didn't
Schmitty,
move on.
what happened, mate?
I did the old invalidate, so starting 15th, didn't set a time in Q2, so it's disappointing. I think I ended up with a 1:29.2, so I think I
That
might
would've
have
put you
just
in.
scraped through
Yes.
on the mediums, but
Lucky has his
invalidate,
band.
that's the end of it. That's alright, fresh tyres, see how we go, see how these boys go.
So
Just
if
reckon we're gonna see
that audio is all good as well.
audio is
Yeah,
all
it
good.
should should be fine.
You've been
Yeah, I
unlucky
reckon
there,
we're gonna.
Schmidt.
Yeah, that's what happens
I
when
saw
you
Dougie
risk it for the end
nearly
on the
giving you a tow,
mediums.
but
Yeah, almost. But yeah, you go all out on the mediums, try and wait to the end of the session to get the most out of it, but it's a big risk. As like what just happened can happen. Invalidate or not make the cut.
So I hope you guys are enjoying the insights of these Blue Championship drivers as they have come from their previous session, being knocked out of course. It is a great insight to see
What's
just what you
happened with
guys are talking
Blocky?
about. Blocky had a
Blocky-
Q3 ban, I
He
believe,
had a 2-3 band,
Ah,
so he'll be retiring.
so there'll be 9 runners in this session, with Aussie Wizzy Rick, as per usual, coming out first. We've noticed
the
a trend
driver's going to
with
have
him.
to be a bit wary of Blocky tonight. He's been self-isolating from school. He's got the rest of the week off.
Oh, righto.
well, maybe he'll finally get some pace with all that time off.
Well, he's actually shown some pretty good pace in other leagues, I've noticed. He recently won a league race, believe it or not.
Did he? Wow.
Yeah, in race spec.
I'll give it to him though. He did well in that 100% race. He was,
That was France
he was
in the
driving
wet.
really well on that. So
Yeah,
props to him.
Race spec Tier 2 French Grand Prix in a wet-dry race. He ended up winning in the end. He got
Beautiful.
absolutely no penalties from that race as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Watch
So
out for the block start.
He has gotten quite a bit quicker, I have to say.
Yeah, he has definitely.
So we're just on board with Aussie Wizzy Rick right now. The first driver who did start his flying lap, just past the two deckers under the bridge into the hairpin. Into first briefly, Shaw shifts into second. Now through the right-hander into spoon curve, which can, if you just touch the grass on that outside, can ruin your race.
Yeah, Chaz has actually just run off the track.
He has at
Oh,
Dunlop,
wait,
a very
that's Dunlop?
popular, very popular spot to run off there. Dunlop curve. Few casualties already. Many more to come.
It is. It seems to be F1 2019's Wall of Champions. Everyone likes crashing there. It seems.
So Aussie Wizzy
27.
crosses the line first with his 27.9. I believe Zach, yes, 27.8. Pole position provisionally. His Cubs teammate Conehouse, 29.4. I think he would like to improve on that time if he wants to go somewhere near the top 3. As Dougie will be the next big competitor. as Breno is also on the lap actually. So
One thing I have noticed is the ERS is running out quite early in the lap.
ERS usage is quite high up then. It looks like. P3 goes Breno, 28.6.
Oh, it's got to be a hot lap for Dougie, for sure.
He crosses the line now on board. P3, 28.3, only 28.3. He'll be a bit disappointed with that. I believe no one else is actually on a lap.
I think
So.
Dougie has a lot more pace up his sleeve. I mean, that's well off the pace in comparison to Zach. Maybe Dougie really doesn't like this circuit at all.
It's not one of his favourites. He's still very quick here, but yeah, I think Zach's definitely got him covered and everyone else here.
So you're saying it's Zach?
I would say you expect Zach to be in there mid to low 27s on pole for sure.
Do you think it's got something to do with the controller? It's just
Yeah,
too hard to flick it around too much?
If I'm using
maybe.
it, it's fucking
I
garbage.
don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I'm using it too.
So we've had some prediction. We'll have one real prediction. Alex did say that he's predicting Alcatraz for pole, which put himself P5. Speak of the devil. Meanwhile, Servanite predicts for the race and McLaren 1-2. So I wonder what your guys' opinions on that.
I'll lead out and say Toddy. I reckon his red hot form winning the F2 will be full of confidence and he's going to win the show tonight.
Yeah, it would not surprise me. Toddy has good luck and good pace in this series, so I wouldn't want 2 mistakes from their fast boys and off Toddy goes.
No, definitely
I'm actually
a McLaren 1-2, 100%. It's going to be a McLaren 1-2. You see, it's a strategy, people, starting 16th and 17th at Suzuka. It's a Kimi Raikkonen strategy, really.
I'm starting in 16th.
How's the pit crew going, Speg?
Yeah, the pit crew, well, they're confident, I guess. As confident as AI can be.
Recovered from Corona?
That's classified.
Oh.
We don't want the Japanese officials knowing it is. I do not know the answer to the question.
So breaking news: we could have a cancellation.
Get your mask on.
Oh my, Alcatraz has just jumped across the track there.
Oh, he's coming to the pit.
Thought he's lost it a bit. He's not going to get pole here.
So I've actually got my money on Breno for tonight's race. I've seen he's had some pretty good pace in qualifying.
Tosses off the pace in the second sector compared to his
Into
competitors.
coming through sector 3, top stuff. He's coming in.
Into the pits. So we only have one run. No banker lap. Neither for Plebs, who is on his lap right now, as is Banana Cake Pie, who is also on his lap. So only, I think, 2 teams have both their cars into Q3, and we're not seeing any. We can't really do any towing here.
Plebs does have a 5-place grid penalty as well.
He does, as he puts himself P3. 128.0. So I want to see how Toddster goes with his lap. See if he can actually get into the 27s. If he can get lower than the 27.8, which is the pole lap at the moment. I wonder if he is capable of that. So I think Banana Cake is the only one on a lap.
Do you reckon anyone's going to go hards?
On for the race.
I don't think so. It's towards the start there is going to be a fairly high chance of a safety car, so starting on the hards would be a bit redundant. But, I mean, you can gamble it, for sure. But, I'm not sure with the game in its current state in regards to safety cars. Starting on the hard might be a little bit bold choice, I think.
So we have Breno, Canter Crab's teammate, currently in P5, who there were some rumours that he said he left the Ferrari seat, but he's back.
Rumours are rumours.
And he's just about to start his final lap. Would any of you guys like to go through the lap with us, or with Breno?
What?
I think he's happy with P3.
Close has retired, yes. Oh, Breno's almost lost it through the final corner. On the bump.
That was sideways. That was the bump.
That's the bump that's Mega's talking about. So into turn 1. Down to 4th gear. Just hits the first seconds, misses the second apex. Now into 2 and 3 and 4 and just the rest of the S's. Many corners in. So at least, yes, 7, this is turn 7 now, 7 corners through the S's, through double curving, goes through that cleanly.
House has lost it.
First and second segments. House has lost it through the, under the bridge.
That's a fair way down.
He's done a red hot chili peppers.
Banana Cake retires now as well.
So Danny Kvyat, isn't it, almost? In the Red Bull as well.
Breno now coming into Spoon Curve, turn 13 and through into turn 14. Hits the first apex, misses the second apex. Now onto the, I think this may be the longest straight of the track.
I think
Coming
so.
into 130R, flat out. Braking point after the 100. There's no 15-meter braking board anymore. I'm not sure where that's gone. Through 16, 17, now through 18, over the bump. Will set a 1 minute 28.3, only 2 tenths up, keeps his P5 position.
Ooh, Conehouse. That Spoon Curve.
I think he's spun off again. Yeah.
Really destroyed front
has
wing.
invalidated his lap, so his day is done.
Todd's just starting his lap now.
Zach's just purpled the first sector.
Yeah, Zach's on his run.
He is killing it.
I'm just on board with Todd stuff. Currently through turn 6.
I'm mistaken, his quality's over at the moment. P10.
Through long curve, turn 7 into turn 8 and 9 of the 2 Degners. Very, very fast corner, very fun to watch through here. And I've seen a few incidents coming out of the second Degner as they try to get on the power. Now into the hairpin. A few drivers try gear 1 through here. Tulsa opting just for second. Now going on to the run into turn 13 and 14 of Spoon Curve.
Take about.
Holy
Zach.
moly.
Takes 37.
7.4.
It's just domination.
And Ridley Rick made a mistake at the hairpin as well. So his quality's done.
Hamilton-esque, we should say.
Alright lads, I'll see you for the race.
Alcatraz is still
See you,
coming
James?
through for a lap as well.
Thanks for having us.
Alcatraz for pole.
The yellow, that is Aussie Wizzy who's retired.
It's busy.
So Toddster, come across the line. P2 is missed out.
Oh, 27.7 though,
Right.
gets in the 27s.
3/10 of a
Alcatraz
second
about to
though.
come across the line.
Alcatraz now. Over the bump, onto the final corner, onto the straight. 28 something, 28. I'm not too sure, I didn't see. P7 though, he put in. I don't think he improved.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the commentary, False. Good luck, man.
Thanks
Enjoy the
everyone
race.
for
Prepare for the
Joining
McLaren
me.
1-2.
for the insight, boys. Good luck everyone. I believe that is everyone now gone. Just confirming there's someone still here. No, James is gone, so everyone has left, all the drivers out in Q1 and Q2. So great insight to see a few of these guys, how their laps went, what their predictions are, just everything about this race. be very interesting to see these top two of Zach and Toddy. I think they'll be in a league of their own. Aussie Wizaric could hang on. He always seems to be there at the back. Dougie Falcons lost his lap, invalidated his lap at the very end. So he'll be a bit frustrated with that. Looking at the comments, Alcatraz saying plebs to body me off the track at any time, paying $5. So could be some tension with those two drivers. We'll wait and see what these guys, or how this will play out with those two guys, if they will make contact yet again, as these drivers are just finalizing their fuel loads and their race strategies. So I hope everyone enjoyed the insight of these drivers. A new thing we've decided to try out. Sometimes it may get a bit clustered or clunky, a bit too many people, I guess, as we start the formation lap. But just let us know if you guys did like the insights of these drivers. So look at the tyres. Aussie Wizzy Rick, I did forget he's starting on the medium tyres, so he's put himself in a brilliant position for strategy, because every single person around him up until Botthod in P12 is on the softs. Meanwhile Zach's just gone on the grass and double curve. We'll ignore that. Botthod, as I was saying before, P12 on the mediums, as is XJ Schmidt, as is Aaron Alpha F4, as Zach's just lost it again. I'm not too sure what he's doing. Something that he always does. But if you guys would like to see the Ultra Raw cam, the yellow and black of Banana Cake Pie, as we've just seen in front of us, Alcatraz has almost lost it. There is a big gap between Dougie, Breno, Alcatraz, and then Current House, the plebs, and just the rest of the field. I'm not sure what's happened there. Quite interesting, but I think I'm not too sure what the strategies for this race. Maybe soft to hard, soft to medium, medium to soft. I feel it could be a soft to medium, medium to soft. So just a casual one stop. Hoping for safety car, or at least a few safety cars. It's very easy to run off, very easy to crash through here, especially in that first sector in lap 1. And also in this corner where Zach is backing this field up massively. No one's made contact, everyone is clean somehow, which is great to see. But this track, at least in real life, is known for its drastically bad aero wash, and apparently it's really hard to follow the cars in front. Hopefully it is being turned down for this game. These guys should be able to follow each other quite well as we await the start of the Japanese Grand Prix for Blue Championship. We'll wait for a better cam. Here we go. No, maybe not. There we go. Okay, 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. Zach Crichton has made a good start, but Tossa has taken the lead now. Made an even better start. They're going to go side by side. Zach on the outside, Tossa on the inside. Dougie puts himself onto P3. Taylor taking Aussie Wizzy Rick. Sector 1 yellows already. Who is that? That is the Red Bull of Current House. Already spinning. Big shame for him. As Toddy leads from Zach, Dougie, Aussie, Breno, Alcatraz, who almost lost it through Dunlop Curve. Oh, someone else. Reedy's lost it as well through the S's. As Conehouse has, I believe, spun again. There he is. He's spun again. Now into the hairpin we go. Still following on with Todster. Banana Cake and Alcatraz now for going back side by side. They made a little bit of contact. Banana Cake onto the grass. He's kept it though, as all the rest of the drivers come through cleanly. We'll jump on to position changes. Canter Crab from P16 up to P13. Aaron from P20 up to P15. Conehouse from P8 down to P20, down 12 spots. And Conehouse has lost the car again. He has heated up those tyres. They are basically impossible to drive on now, as I think Reedy has lost it as well. So into the chicane at the end of the first lap for the first time. 1 of 27. Tulsa 132.6 starting his lap. Cantu Crap and Aaron side by side. We'll jump down to them quickly. I believe they're side by side. Cantu Crap lost position to Schmidt. Is now under pressure from Aaron, who just lets him go, it looks like. So Cantu Crap from P13 through halfway through this lap down to P15. Todsa 8/10 up ahead of Zach Crichton, into these S's through a Dunlop curve. Zach is 7/10 ahead of Dougie, who is another 7/10 ahead of Aussie, 8/10 ahead of Breno. Around the same gap, Banana Cake Pie is right behind Alcatraz though. We'll stay on with them. There's a bit of a gap from Butthot to Schmidt, around a second now. Banana Cake looking to go down the inside, can't get us stuck. Touches Alcatraz just a tiny bit, not enough to make him spin, just to let him know he's there though. This could be shaping up to be a whole race battle. These guys have quite similar pace, but Alcatraz is already 1.2 seconds off Breno. So the leading pack, could start to pull away now. Todster almost a second up as he knocks the bollard in the first chicane of turn 16 through 17, now through turn 18. As Todster goes, he crosses the line, starting DRS, or enabling DRS for this lap. 7/10 away from Zach, who was a second up from Dougie Falcons. Dougie will probably not get DRS down from Zach right now, so Aussie will have a chance of overtaking him. Breno's falling a little bit back in the first Ferrari. Alcatraz has pulled away a little bit from Banana, who now has Plebs for company. Plebs qualified, I believe, P3 or P4. Got a 5-place grid penalty, making his way back up now. Plebs, who could make a move somewhat soon on Banana Cake. Big shame though for Current House and Reedy and James, as in stuck to 1 yellows. Who is that? That is Reedy, who's lost it again. So a few of these guys just not getting the hang of these Senate, or not Senate, just S's. Toster and Zach, as I predicted, are on a league of their own. As Banana Cake and Plebs side by side through spoon curves. Reedy gets a 30-second penalty for multiple warnings, but Plebs is getting quite impatient. It's Blocky Rex, as we heard before, as they went side by side. Plebs has made a move of Banana Cake through 130R, a great move. I think we've just saw that at the end. Zach Crichton 131.6, fast after the race so far. Plebs has overtaken Banana Cake. Bod Hodge Lunacy has lost 2 positions to Schmidt, and Lunacy has lost positions to Aaron and Bodhod and Schmidt, who are all fighting it out for P11 right now. Through this great shot of the first corner, as see all the cars fly by. Big battle. Bodhod, sort of the cork in the bottle. Starting a train starting to form up with Bodhod and Schmidt and Aaron and Lunacy and Can't Do Crap, with Server Knight and Smeg looking behind. As you see, Can't Do Crap very close. Move up. Plebs has taken Alcatraz. Plebs up to P6. He is on a charge. There's a bit of a gap now. 2.8 seconds to Breno. Just to get a dispatch of the DRS from Alcatraz very quickly, otherwise this could become a problem. Breno only a second behind the Third place and fourth place is Dougie and Aussie. As we look back through the field, Bodhod has created a smaller gap to Aaron and Schmidt and Lunacy. And Contra Crab, Servanite and Smeg have caught up to these two as well. Through the chicane we go. Aaron already into P12. We'll look at the stops of the tyres. There you go. So Aussie Wizzy started P3 down to P4 as Aaron and Bodhod. Oh, Bodhod goes very wide, almost takes out Schmidt. But I was just about to say Aaron started P3, now P4 in the mediums. The three other medium runners P11, 12 and 13 of Aaron, Bodhod and XJ Schmidt. As Bodhod almost loses the rear again, Bodhod is very unstable. Maybe feeling the pressure now. He needs to keep calm, needs to keep calm under this immense pressure. As Cantu Crab is right behind Lunacy, with Servanite giving him for immense company. The Smeg leaking a bit behind, but he is ever looming. So looking down at the pack, the front is sort of creating a small gap between each other, separating. Zach and Todster, as Reedy will jump back to him. He's lost again, third down on the curve this time. That's another spin. Blocky Rex, meanwhile, losing it at spin curve. Putting Aaron and Bodhod and Schmidt up a place, I believe. Lunacy has Contra Crab right behind him. Contra Crab, will he make a move down into the chicane of turn 16? He does. I don't think that they may have made contact, but Contra Crab has done the switchback and gone round the outside of the final corner to take P13 from Lunacy. Both of them have DRS, but Lunacy may look around to go down the outside. Bodhod and Schmidt, meanwhile, are trading positions. Bodhod has lost the position to Schmidt, who's down in P11. I'm not too sure what he's doing. He should be, him and Aaron, they should look to get up into positions as this race goes along, because Schmidt is still fighting the championship. Aaron from P20 always seems to be up there at the end, always. So keep an eye out for these guys. And we look behind, there's a battle for P11 with Schmidt and Bodhod and Cantu Crab and Lunacy, as Cantu Crab down the inside of the hairpin, down the inside of Bodhod into the hairpin. Lunacy looking behind, trying to make an opportunity of these battles. Servanite behind them, and Smeg just still there. Cantu gets a 30-second penalty for multiple corner cut warnings. Goes wide at the exit of the spoon, giving Bodhod a run on him now down the outside into 130 yard. Will they go side by side? Beautiful chopper cam. Cantu Crab lifts through 130 yard. He'll be under pressure from Lunacy now. Will Lunacy send it down the inside? No, he doesn't. He keeps calm. Bodhod will not have DRS. Meanwhile, Cantu Crab and Lunacy will. So he might be a sitting duck in this straight into turn 1 as Aaron and Garlas. Aaron has made a move on Garlas. Cantu Crab made a move on Bodhod. Keeps it. His ERS is looking quite low. Lunacy is conserving his ERS. We'll go back up to the front of the pack just real quick. Zach, meanwhile, I have actually missed this, but Zach has taken P1 from Todster. So I'm not too sure when this actually happened. I was focusing too much down on the battle for P10. But Zach has taken Todster, made a 1 second gap, now out of DRS range. Zach will now probably control the race from here, unless something happens. Something unexpected will happen. Maybe. But each of the drivers from P1 down to are in P11, 1 second apart from each other. Then P12, and this little battle for P12, 13, 14, 15. This is the main battle right now. We would like to keep an eye on this. No DNFs right now. which is always good to see. As Conehouse gets a 30-second penalty down from P20. They are a minute behind Reedy and Conehouse, unfortunately. So we'll see the closest battle now is staying with these guys. Can't do crap. You see in the forward background is closing up to Schmidt. He's well using those soft tyres. Oh yeah, soft tyres against the medium tyres. Using that advantage to catch up and pass these medium tyre runners. But Aussie Wizzy Rick up in P4, as Giles to throw single penalty. Aussie Wizzy Rick is still there on his medium tyres. He'll have a great advantage at the end of the race. Look to see him coming through the field in the last few laps. As Conehouse pits, Conehouse gets a speeding in the pit lane. He may retire. No, he doesn't. He stays. He stays in the race. He would like to finish it. So stay on. I'd like to go on board with Can't Do Crap, as the Snake is a 30-second penalty. Can't Do Crap riding right behind the Force India of XJ Schmidt, who is trying to shake off the Ferrari and has his teammate in front. They could use some team orders maybe to get that Ferrari out. Use some DRS. XJ Schmidt does not get DRS from Garlaz though. Can't Crab does. Can't Crab will get right behind him. Maybe the next few laps. Can't Crab though, and not having much ERS, and they may need to manage that a little bit more, as XJ Schmidt having a lot more ERS than Can't Do Crap. Through the S as we go once again. Can't Do Crap was another sector 1 yellow. That is lunacy. It was gone. Lost his front wing. He has hit the wall from, I believe that is turn 5, turn 6. And you can never afford to lose a wing down here in Suzuka. So his race is technically over unless he can manage to get a safety car soon through one of the other competitors. We'll jump back on board with Can't Do Crap, who's closing up on Schmidt once again. Servernite getting a 3-second penalty. Can't Do Crap. He's going to try and look for a move up the inside or outside into the hairpin. He's done it once on Lunacy before. Is he going to do it again? He will send it down the inside. They're going to make slight contact. Both of them keep it in a straight line. Alcatraz pits the first driver to blink onto the medium tyre, so it will be a soft to medium, I believe, as both Smeg and Blocker Rex follow suit. As I think, I think that may be Conehouse. That is Conehouse, who I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he's letting the field to go. Jumping with Can't Do Crap and XJ Schmidt. Can't Do Crap loses it, and it will hit the wall. We'll find out if he has damage. That is a big shame. That battle was ever so promising. We'll wait and see another camera angle when it will come up. I want to see how much damage he has. And he has lost an end plate. Big shame for him. As Conehouse retired, but someone, I think that was just Conehouse, flying into the gravel trap as there is a VSC. These two leading cars, they may use this opportunity to pull into the pits, will they? Zach does, Todster does. Both into the pits. Will Doggy pull into the pits? Big question, will Aussie Wizzy Rick pull? Will he stay out? Aussie stays out. Doggy stays out as well. As Conehouse leaves the session, Reedy gets a drive the penalty for speeding on safety car, speeding of the VSC. He's way down the field anyway. Banana Cake Park is a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as him, Plebs and Brenner all pit. VSC has ended. Dougie Falcons is now in the lead of the race after Zach and Hodsa pit. Aaron stays out, Ozzy stays out, XJ Schmidt stays out, as does Bud Hod, as does Servanite. Meanwhile, everyone else pits. James Cruz and Reedy are both staying out. So Hodsa has actually come out right behind Aaron. So this could maybe some team wars, maybe some holding up by Aaron. Let his teammate go. See Hodsa. Or little block, Hodsa had to get out of the throttle. He sends it down the inside of the hairpin. Can Aaron get a switchback? No, he can't. Hodsa is through. How far back is he? 2.2 seconds away from Zach now. So he's lost some crucial time. He was right on the back of him just before the VSC. Now he's very far behind. Reedy gets a 5-second penalty on top of his speeding in the pit, on top of his drafter penalty for speeding on the VSC. So his day is well and truly done. We'll scroll down the field. Aaron, sector 1 yellow, that is I believe Lunacy. As we scroll down quickly, Lunacy has lost it through the S's. Has he picked up any more damage? No, he hasn't. He's very lucky with that. But he's just stopped once again for, I think he may have stopped previously though, for his medium tyres. Blocky Rex is on the back of the Smeg. Meanwhile, Alcatraz is on the back of Banana Cake Pie. Both Alcatraz and Banana pit, but I believe Banana pit under VSC. So Alcatraz loses out, as does I think Smeg and Blocky. They all may have lost out as a pit under green, and the VSC came out just after the exit of the pits. Plebs, meanwhile, also are behind Servanite and Breno, but was almost stick with. Actually, hold on. Blocky just made a move on the Smeg, but I want to stick with Alcatraz and Banana Cake as Plebs makes a move on Servanite on his old soft tyres, I believe through the Degners. Banana Cake is actually pulling away from Alcatraz, which is a great shame. This could be. They were fighting on the first lap. They're fighting on lap 12 once again. Can Alcatraz come back and stick behind Banana Cake? He needs to get through 130. Needs to get through the chicane before he can successfully get his DRS onto his one and only DRS zone on the front straight. As he's only half a second, he will get it. Zach's a 1:31.0. Fastest lap of the race. Hodsa cannot improve, cannot close down this gap. Safety car pit, Servanite, I should say, Servanite pits on his 12 lap odd tyres. Dougie Falcon stays out. I wonder if James will stay out as well. Alcatraz very close, touches Banana Cake Park. I don't think he got damaged. We'll give it a quick look. I don't think he did. He is a light enough touch to give him no damage, but that could have been, ended up being very bad. Banana Cake will be well and truly under pressure now from Alcatraz, who seems to lose a lot of time. So maybe I think you do lose time from aero wash in this, especially in this first sector. He's within a second, then 5/10, half a second. Schmidt is a 3-second time penalty. He's currently in P6, not stopping. Neither has Dougie or Ozzy or Aaron or Bodhod, or James for that matter. As Alcatraz goes very wide in the middle of the spoon curve. Zach is another fast lap of the race. He's chasing these two front runners down. Dougie has stayed out for 13 laps on those soft tyres. So I wonder if he thinks the medium tyres will have lost out and have lost all their grip, gone off the cliff, and he may be able to sneak a podium or even a race win at the end. But he'll have to watch for Aussie Wizzy as Alcatraz looks to go down around the outside of turn 1. Can't get us stuck. Banana Cake defends into turn 1. And we are at, looks to be a small stalemate as Alcatraz, they look to be very similar pace. I did say that at the first lap when they're battling at the start. We'll jump ahead a bit actually, because Plebs, Breno and Bodhod. Bodhod is holding up Breno and Plebs who are both stopped. Bodhod has not. So it may be quite an easy pass for Breno to get past Bodhod, who I believe we heard from. I don't think we actually heard from these two drivers. We may have heard from Bodhod, I'm not too sure. But these two drivers are very talented. As Dougie pits, 13 laps on those soft tyres, he pits. As Breno has to lift off the throttle, they will now send it down the inside, jumping with hotball with Plebs. You can see the full battle, full action. As now Plebs will have a great exit as Breno almost loses the car on the bump. Plebs overtakes Bodhod. Plebs, he may be able to get Breno as they're going to go 3 wide. Breno gets touched. Breno goes into a half spin, he keeps it. Plebs goes wide. Bodhod takes them both once again. So now Bodhod from P9 back into P7. Dougie Falcon coming out just in front of this pack crucially. Now we have 9 seconds of free air to get those medium tyres. 4 lap fresher mediums. Will that be pivotal at the end? That was always going to end in an incident as Aussie Wizard gets a 30-second penalty. Always going to end in an incident. 3 wide into turn 1. A guy coming out of pit lane as Bodhod struggles to get on the throttle as James pits. Plebs now overtakes him, which will leave. Bodhod touches the grass. Breno has lost plenty of time though. He should gain that back, but he's lost time to Plebs, which is his main competitor right now. Aussie Wizzy it's a 5-second speeding in the pit lane penalty on top of that. So I believe that may be 8 seconds worth of penalties right now. As there is yellows on sector 1, that may be just James Cruz. As Bodhod gets 3 seconds, we see, yeah, Bodhod gets 3 seconds. Bodhod is actually does not get 3 seconds, but he's, I was going to say he's under pressure from Breno, but not by not too much, as Aussie Wizard comes out just behind Dougie Falcons. Dougie, who has caught massively onto X-Ray Schmidt. We'll see how easily these new medium tyres, 14 lap newer tyres. Sector 1 yellows, that is, I believe, is that Reedy? No, that is Banana Cake, who's hit the wall, is reset to the track. We'll have to wait a little bit until we get to see the extent of his damage. The S's claim another victim. That'll have to be another pit stop. It's Dougie Falcons, we just missed that, but Dougie, we just seen that. Dougie Falcons and Aussie Wizzy get past Schmidt. Aussie Wizzy hits Falcons. I think he's lifting up the throttle. He's gonna readdress that position, but he touches Dougie and almost sends him into the wall, sends him wide. And now it's gonna go for another move. Oh, Dougie Falcons breaks a little early, almost catches Schmidt out, almost as Schmidt into the pits. Plebs is coming into the battle now, as I believe Breno is just overtaken Bodhod. And Aussie Wizzy and Dougie Falcons are still fighting it out. This is not doing well, not doing well for their chances of winning the race. They need to use each other. They can't be battling throughout the race. Aussie Wizzy is on the soft tyres though. He will try to carry those softs to 11 laps. They'll have a significant advantage these first few laps. Not too sure around the end. The Banana Cake pit, as just Schmidt. Sector 2 yellows, that is James Cruz in the Williams, losing it at the exit of the hairpin. But Zach Crichton back into the lead, with Tulsa almost 3 seconds behind. Aussie Wizzywick 17 seconds behind him. Oh, I was behind Tulsa, with Dougie only half a tenth. Dougie's going to try and keep up. Smart thing to do for Dougie would just to keep there, stay there, and use that DRS, charge up his battery. All the while gaining on these two front runners. Plevs is joining the party as well. Plevs could sneak a podium. He's the dark horse. As the two McLarens, P13 and P14, they've stayed out of trouble, which is always nice to see. Not exactly P1 and 2, but it's getting better. It is improving. Reedy gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. I think that may be a bit too harsh, as Dougie Falcons laps James Cruz and is still on the hunt for P3. We'll jump back a bit, as I was just about to say the two McLarens having a small battle, but Servernite, the former incident-free, as Aaron loses as well at double curve. This is turning out to be a very crazy race, as two cars both lose control. Servernite losing it at the exit of the chicane, while Aaron L3F4 losing it at Dunlop curve. Does he have damage? I'm not too sure if he's got damage. I don't think he does. Just a little spotlight on the Can't Do Crap fans. He's running P14. He was looking. I don't think he got a gain on the Smeg. He's around almost 10 seconds off. Have to gain over a second per lap at this point. Bodhod pits for his first stop. I'm guessing he will definitely go into the soft tyres. Expect to see him on a charge as well. Aussie Wizzy Rick, I don't think he'll be able to catch Todser and Zach. I think Zach, with 8 laps to go, would be able to control this race and win it. As Aaron into the pits and retires. So big shame for him. Snake down to P12. But as I was saying, Dougie is still just within DRS range. Servernite also pits. It's a speeding in the pit lane penalty. This pit lane is looking to be quite hard to get right, because there's many people who are sped into the pit lane, which is a big shame. I wonder if Aaron's retired car would cause a safety car, because that has happened plenty of times before. I believe the only battle though, I don't think it will, no it will not. The only sort of close battle is Dougie Falcons and Aussie Wizzy Rick. Dougie is still keeping with Aussie, as is that Servernite? Is that still Servernite who's spun as he's coming out the pits? He's got a 10-second time penalty. His day is done. He's reversed onto the track. 10-second penalty. Lost a whole heap of time. And he's now getting lapped by P3 and 4 of Aussie and Dougie. Big shame for him. More sector 1 yellows. I'm not too sure who that is of. But I'm not sure who the sector 1 yellows is of now. But Banana Cake is closing up on Lunacy, all the while Smeg is closing up on Lucky Rex. I'd like to stay on board with Smeg, who we heard from in the qualifying in Q2 and Q3. your usual commentator. We'll be able to see his driving style, his driving talent. As he goes through his least favourite corner, the Dunlop curve. He's losing a little bit of time to Blocky. He needs to maintain this gap until he gets to that DRS zone, until he gets at least after sprint curve. Then you can have a real crack at it. Looking on the timings, Dougie Falcons looks to be gaining on Aussie Wizzy, all while Banana Cake is also gaining on Lunacy. He's jumping Banana Cake. I think he's just about to make a move. Lunacy onto the grass, coming out the Dunlop curve into the first Degner. He's just gonna he's letting Banana Cake through. Servernite Pitts has to serve his penalty. I think he may be going for fast after the race. He is now stone dead last. We'll jump back on with. So we'll move up because the Garlas and Schmidt have also been a little fight. I've just missed that out. The two Force Indias. Schmidt has passed Garlas, but I want to look at Dougie and Aussie Wizzy Rick. We'll jump onto the broadcast cameras off the. Oh, we'll just jump back on board with Dougie. But I wanted to see if we can gain some cinematic views, cinematic cameras of these two brilliant drivers. Plevs has slowly lost time. Zach sets another purple lap time, 1:30.676. I have no idea how he's setting those times on 11 lap old medium tyres. But Dougie has no ERS, he's going full attack, which we could see coming into the Sector 2 yellows. That is a Alfa Romeo of, I believe, Reedy. I think it has to be Reedy. Unless it is Banana Cake. We'll jump, we'll look quickly. It was Reedy, yeah. So quite unfortunate for the Alpha driver, who had issues all throughout the race. We'll stay on board with the plucky Brit of Dougie Falcons. Usually, he's always up here, up in top 5 at least, if his connection is always, if he doesn't disconnect, I should say, which we've seen quite a few times in this league, in this season. He's consistently under 10% ERS, which is obviously not giving him as much power as he would like. Aussie Wizzy Rick is almost out of fuel though. That's Sector 1 yellow. Is that Servernite? It is Servernite once again. Lost it in the S's coming up to Dunlop curve. And he's got grass in his tyres and he's almost lost it again. He's going to get lapped by Kanto Cappers. P13. He's hit the wall. Is that damage now? That is damage. It is basically game over for him. 18 seconds to his nearest competitor. Already a lap down. He's been a lap down from P13 up. It's a big shame for him. Aussie Wizzy Rick is slowly gaining on Zach and Toddy, but I don't think he'll be able to get them. He has to gain a lot of time in not a lot of laps. So top 2, I believe, will be the finishes. There's still some debate on who will finish P3. The rest of the grid looks to be fairly even, fairly spread out. Smeg and Blocky Rex are both having a small battle, but we'll focus on Aussie Wizzy Rick and Dougie Falcons. Banana Cake Bike is a faster competitive exceeding track limits. That looks to be the final corner. That final corner is brutal, it's very harsh. I believe you just go a little bit wide onto that greaser, he'll come up here onto into the braking zone, onto this green tarmac ahead of you. If you go brake a bit late, go wide, and you go through there, you get a 5-second penalty, which is a bit too harsh, in my opinion. Down here, that is Reedy is being lapped. Smeg. So we'll jump back here. Mercedes of Lunacy has spun to jump down to him now. He's had quite a shocking race as well. Very unfortunate for him. And I think I was just lapping Reedy. But Lunacy's teammate, Dougie Falcons, he's within a second, he's within DRS, he just can't get there. He can't get enough pace. Which is a real shame. As he, or just briefly because of that DRS range, he needs to save up and use it all down the straight, I reckon. Because Aussie WYSIWYG has consistently more ERS as Zach goes faster yet again on 14 lap old medium tyres. He sets another purple lap time. I don't believe it. I don't believe how he does it, but as it's around 3 laps to go, the gap is 5/10 down to 4, down to 3. So he gets very close. He's not close enough though. He's just a 10th behind, a 10th too slow. As we jump back, Budhod and Garlas. There we go. Both side by side, through 130R. Budhod has managed to get past Garlas. James Cruz gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags, who is right in front of us, I believe. Well, we'll jump back on with Dougie Falcons, who looks to be a lot closer now to Aussie WYSIWYG. Into spring curve, he needs to keep this gap. At least 5/10 coming into the spring curve as Aussie WYSIWYG goes wide. Aussie goes wide. But Dougie just losing time on the exit. And a little bit through slipstream. Lunacy, his teammate, gets out of the way of these two. But Dougie has a great run through 130R. He's very close now. This could be it. This could be the move. As he doesn't go through the last chicane all too well. He loses all that time down to almost 8/10. He's not going to get past him now. He's not going to use it. He's got no ERS. It's going to be the same story once again. 2 laps to go in this race. Meanwhile, Smeg is still stuck behind Blocky Rex. Sector 2 yellows. So I believe that is Garlas now. Is that Garlas? I think that was Garlas who may have spun. I think he did. Jump back on board with Dougie Falcons as he is consistently half a second behind. Just a bit of a stalemate right here. It's been the same thing ever since Aussie came out in front of him, actually behind him, and then overtook him. Aussie has not been able to make enough time up to Toddster, at least Toddster, even Zach. And Dougie cannot get past Aussie. I think he's waiting. Those tires are slowly going off the cliff at Aussie. And Dougie should have plenty of life left on those 11 lap old medium tyres. You go through 130R once again. Usually has a good run through here. He's going to go, looks down the inside. There'll be 1 lap to go after this. He can't seem to get a good run onto this front straight. He is half a 10th off. Half a second off, I should say. Into turn 1. Will he make a lunge for the final, on the final lap? It's all or nothing now for Dougie Falcons. I'm not sure, he can't really do anything in these S-curves. Through Dunlop curve, oh not Dunlop curve yet. Through Dunlop curve right about now. And he's got another 51. His lunacy is lost to the rear end once again. He's got plenty of time to James Cruz. That will not impact the Siri drivers. Aussie Wizard is going amazing to stay in front. But Dougie is continuously hunting him down, but he cannot find a way through. He never can. Meanwhile, down at the front, our race leader controlled the race from start to finish. Zach Crichton will win the Japanese Grand Prix, setting a fastest lap as he does that. Tulsa will finish second, but I want to keep an eye on these two. Dougie Falcons, he can't get it done. He will not get it done. Aussie Wizzy will come through in third position, but he will lose out on penalties to Dougie Falcons. Plebs will come home in P5. Breno P6. We will look at the position changes. Breno losing position in P6. Alcaz losing a position to P7, who lost a lot of time. May have made a small mistake with Schmidt. He's run out of fuel, I think. May have run out of fuel. But I think he's come out in front of him just on penalties. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, Bodhod P9 though. Blocky Rex are heavily under attack from Garlas. Comes home P10. Garlas P11. The Smeg will come in P12. Gets up to P11 from Garlas' penalty. Kanto Crab P13 he will come home in. As he rounds the final corner. Started P16, finishing P13. Great driver him, and Banana Cake Pie. Losing 7 positions, it will come home P14. And that is it for the Blue Championship Japanese Grand Prix. As we see, the Haas driver of Zach Crichton, the Renault driver of Tulsa, and the Mercedes of Dougie Falcons on the podium, spraying the champagne. We'll move on to that though. We'll move on to the final standings. Zach Crichton controlling the race. Easy win for him. 6 seconds in front of Totsa. A further 19 seconds was Dougie Falcons. 8 seconds worth of penalties ends up being the cost. But it ended up being costly for Aussie Wizzy Rick. Plevs coming home in P5 from P9 after his 5 place penalty. Breno coming home P6 for Ferrari. Alcatraz P7. Elshay Schmidt coming home in P8. Butthod P9, Blocky Rex P10. The Smeg, a great race for him, considering how he used to how his previous results in P11. Garlize P12, Countercrap P13 for P16. Banana Cake Shocking Roast P14, Lucy P15, James P16, Reedy 17, 7 at 18, Aaron 19, Current House P20. Current House and Aaron obviously having a DNF. So I believe next week we will have round 11 in Mexico. But before that, we'll have F2, I believe the finale, on Thursday 7 PM at Azerbaijan in Baku. And then after that is the Diamond Championship on Dynamic Nights Esports, which is Austria. coming home at 8:30 p.m. So thank you everyone for watching, everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys. We will hear from me on next Monday. You will hear from this stream this Thursday. Goodbye.